Let's go. All right, so we're going to learn how to do matrices on the graphing calculator today. We chopped this a little bit, so the numbering goes 2, 4, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10. It's okay. So the first thing I need to acquaint you with is where we're going to do matrices on the calculator. There is a matrix menu. It's down here above the X to the -1 key, and you do second and that button, and it gives you a whole bunch of options.
Ooh, we're going with the D.
So we're going to edit. You can't put a matrix in unless you edit. So I'm going to use matrices A and B for mine. You could use any two, but just to keep it simple. So my matrix for A is set up as a 3 by 4. This would be my matrix A right here. So I'm actually looking to do an A plus B if I'm going to use A and B. And this matrix is a 3 by 3. So I have to tell it how big my matrix is. That's a 3 by 3. And it will shorten it or lengthen it. And then I just need to type in the numbers. So you type a number and hit enter, and it'll take you to the next box. So experiment with that. Get those in. And so you want to make sure you have everything. 2, 2, 0, -1, 5, 4, -3, -6, 4. So we've now established this is matrix A. Then we need to put in matrix B really quick. So just second matrix again, go over to edit because that's the only thing that'll let you change stuff. Matrix B, which is 2. Mine's already set up as a 3 by 3. If yours is set up from last year as something else, go ahead and fix that. And so I'm going to put in these numbers. So -4, 5, -6. Just hit enter to get to each new box. 0, 4, 6, 6, 4, 0. And we'll add these using the calculator. Adding and subtracting is not always faster on the calculator. I'll lay that out there. But if you have giant matrices and just lots of numbers to keep track of, you could do that. All right, so what we're going to do now is go back to the regular screen. So I'm going to do second and quit, which is the mode key. So second, quit. I'm back on this screen. This is where we're going to tell it to do stuff. Enter. But we have to grab the matrices from the matrix menu. So it's a little confusing. You had to actually go back to the regular screen. You're going to do go back into the matrix menu, and where it says names, we're just going to grab number 1 by hitting enter, and it's going to copy matrix A. And then we have a plus sign, so we're going to hit the plus key, and then go back into matrix, go down and select matrix B. Okay? And then if you just hit enter, it's going to add all of that for you. Okay? All right, I know you're excited, but we are recording. All right, so let's write this all down. -2, 7, -6, -1, 9, 10, 3, -2, 4. It's like I have my own studio audience.
Whoa. I messed up something.
For some reason, I feel like I could do this faster.
So with adding and subtracting and scalar multiplication, that's true. But think about matrix multiplication. There are certain things that'll be faster to do on here, but this helps me show you how to put them in. So on your notebook, you might want to have a few notes about how to get this in. So you're going to hit the second key, and then it's that little X and -1 button that says matrix above it. And then we did, we right arrowed twice to edit, and then you input your matrix. And then to do the calculations, you're going to go to second, and then the mode key, which takes you to quit, and then you copy and paste. So you go into second, matrix, and then you'll capture number 1A, hit the plus sign, second, matrix number 2B, and then just hit enter. So I'm just putting steps on here, mostly for the people who aren't in class today. Hopefully they'll be able to figure that out, or they will watch the video. All right, so number 4 down here, it's really easy to multiply everything by 4. So the first part of this, I probably wouldn't use a calculator to do this if I needed to just do this, but it'll be okay. So I'm going to put this matrix in as matrix C, we'll say. So let's go second matrix, go down to C. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. Second matrix, we need to edit. Go over to edit and then go down to C.
Wait, why don't we just redo A and B?
You could. It doesn't matter.
I feel like I'm going to get confused.
So I'm going to put mine on matrix C because that's what I chose. So I'm telling it to 2 by 3 and I'm putting in just the matrix. 5, 1, negative 4, negative 2, 4, negative 1. So I have all of that on matrix C. So basically what I want to tell it to do is to take 4 times C. That's how I'm going to put it in the calculator. So once you have all of the numbers entered into the calculator, you want to go back to the main menu. So second, quit, because this is the screen where it's actually going to do stuff. So we're going to go ahead and push 4 times first. Then you go into matrix, and I called mine C, and I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it was C. And then it looks like 4 times, and the little brackets mean matrix C. You type it in, and it's going to magically give you
It
the
works if you
answers.
do times 4 afterwards, too.
It will with that, but with other things, it doesn't work to switch it. So I want you guys to be in the habit of not. If you do matrix multiplication, like on the next problem backwards, it will not work the same way. So be careful with that. Okay, so on the next one, this is where I really think the calculator comes in handy, is matrix multiplication. Think about all the numbers you're keeping track of. I'm going to call this A and this B. We're going to multiply them. So we go in second matrix, go over to edit. And this is, I have a 3 by 3 in there, but this is a 4 by 3, so I'm going to change that. You'll figure out really quick if you put it in wrong because it won't work. So negative 2, negative 6, 6, negative 6, 3, 0, negative 2, 0, negative 1, 4, negative 5. So as fast as you can type those in, basically, there's matrix A. Then you're going to go second matrix again, go over to edit, and I'm going to do matrix B. And this is a 3 by 2, so I've got to change this to a 3 by 2, so it'll take one of those rows off that I had. And put in that one, negative 2, 6, negative 2, 0, and 0. So now I have matrix B put in. And so if I go back to the main menu by hitting second and quit, I can do my calculations here. So I'm going to go second, matrix A, hit my times key, second matrix B. So I just selected those, and it multiplied those for me just like that. It's good to know how it works to multiply, but for what we're going to do for the rest of this unit, we are going to use the calculators to make things a little faster, because we will have some story problems that are going to take a while. And so if you guys do matrices in any of your college science or math classes, science, math, and I've even seen it used in economics, they expect that you have one of these calculators and that you know how to do these. It's good if you've seen it. Okay, so determinants are a little bit different. So let's go down here and look at the determinant. So notice I just have these bars here. Even if the directions were not there, having the bars instead of the brackets means determinant. So just reviewing that notation. So what letter do you guys want to use for this matrix?
Which what?
Letter A, B, C, D, A. Just want to call it A. Woo! So we're going to tell it to do the determinant of A. It's basically what we're going to do. So first we do the same thing we did on the others. We're going to go second and hit the matrix key, which is right here. And we're going to go over to edit, and we'll just use matrix A. And this is a 2 by 2. We'll just put in the numbers 1, 2, 2, 0. Okay? So just putting it in, I'm calling it matrix A. You can use any one you want.
Just looking at you, Parker. Hey, look at me.
Okay. So if we go back to the main menu, second quit. This is where we're going to do our work. We're going to go second, matrix, and then we're going to go over to the math menu. And the very first thing says DET. That stands for determinant. So when you do determinant,
And you go back and press 1 and close your parentheses and enter.
so then you got to go second matrix, number 1, close parentheses, enter. And we have the determinant, -4. So,
Okay, so in this situation, I think, like in your head. would be-
yeah, in your head, because it's really just 0 minus 4. Although, if we get over to do the 3 by 3s, this might be different. So, just remember that this is in the math button, I'm sorry, matrix, second. So we were in second,
Grid.
and then matrix, and then we did one right arrow to math, and it was number 1, determinant. Those were the basic steps of this. So 8 works the same way, and I think the 3 by 3s and anything bigger than that is where this really comes in handy. So I'm going to go in and make this matrix B. Oh, except I didn't. So second matrix, go over to edit. I'm going to call it B and change this to be a 3 by 3. Put my numbers in, -4, 0, -5, -4, 1, 0, -5, 2, and 4. So once you've entered the matrix in, you want to go second, quit, be on that home screen. And then second, matrix, over to math. We want the determinant, and I put mine in on B. So I go second, matrix, I grab B from the names list. I don't even know if you have to close the parentheses, but I always do. And we get a determinant of -1. So remember that these were the ones where you had to draw the other 2 columns and then do like add, subtract, subtract, subtract. There was lots and lots of work with a 3 by 3 determinant. This is faster for anything bigger than a 2 by 2. And we didn't do 4 by 4s or 5 by 5s. It would have worked the same way. But this is a lot faster when you have to do those bigger matrices. Okay? Shh.
Jesus, right.
All right. Some of us are not paying extra good attention. This last part, the inverse matrix, inverse matrices are one of the hardest lesson that we've done so far. I'm going to show you how the calculator does it. If you've not done the inverse matrix worksheet, though, you need to show your work because that was before we did the calculator. But you could use this to check, which is valuable. Okay, so we're going to go in and put this matrix in. So second matrix, I'm going to go over to edit. I'm just going to use A because it's already set up as a 2 by 2. So -9, 3, 0, 3. So I'm just putting that in there. Okay, so I called this matrix A. Remember that the notation, if this is matrix A, the notation for inverse is A with a little -1. Guess what? We have a key for that. So I put this under matrix A. I'm going to quit and go to the home screen. I'm going to go second, matrix. I'm going to grab matrix A. And then the button you've been pushing with matrix, it has a little -1. Push that. So this key right here, X with -1. And you do that, and it's going to give you the inverse matrix. Now, it's going to give it to you in decimal form, but there is a way to change it all to fractions. Math frac, which you guys know for other things. So hit the math key. Go and do number 1 fraction, hit enter, and it's going to put those all in reduced fraction form.
Nice.
So you have -1/9, 1/9, 0, 1/3, and so that's your inverse matrix. Okay? And we didn't even do inverses for bigger matrices, but for other square matrices, there are things you can do with that. And we would do those on the calculator because they're just horrendous to do by hand. So let's do one more of those. So on here, if we go in, I'm just going to use A again because it's already, oh, hang on, second matrix, I have to remember to edit. Number 1. So it's already a 2 by 2, so I'm going to go -2, -2, -5, -5. I feel like somebody wasn't imaginative with this one. So that is matrix A. Go into second, quit. I'm going to do second matrix, select A, hit the little -1 key, and it's going to give me an error. Why is it giving me an error?
Because it can't be done.
Because it can't be done. No inverse matrix exists. Calculated result not found if dependent on a matrix inverse.
Wait, why can't it be done?
So let's think about how we did the determinants before. -2 times -5 would be 10, and you're subtracting -5 times -2 is 10. We get 0. If you get a determinant of 0, so that's your determinant, is 0, then you're setting up 1 over 0 and doing stuff with the matrix. That is not possible. And your calculator is going to let you know if that's not possible. So basically, there is no inverse. Not every 2 by 2 matrix has one. And if this were representing something else, then we would